You're watching Collier Television, bringing government home.
And I want to talk a little bit about the oil spill. This is a real disaster. And this, I think, highlights the failure on all levels, whether it's the federal government, whether it's BP, the private sector. Everything has failed. And it is clear to me that there were not the proper contingency plans put in place to handle a disaster like this. And it's an outrage. You know, the American people right now are scratching their head going, it just seems like everywhere we turn, there's failure. We can't secure the borders. We can't stop and clean up an oil spill. We can't control spending in Washington. There's real frustration, and I think this oil spill highlights that. We like to say that as Americans, we have the best and the brightest. It's time for the president to call on the best and brightest Americans and around the world, frankly, to step up, stop the oil, and clean it up. We have, whether it's the Army, whether it's the Army Corps of Engineers, whether it's FEMA, we have resources at our hands that we need to call in to help solve this problem. I also would like to say that BP should be held responsible for every dime. So if there are government resources used, BP should be on the hook to pay for those resources. This is a failure beyond belief. And those that are going to suffer and pay the consequences are the people who not only live along the Gulf Coast, but all of Americans are going to suffer because this is going to have a tremendous impact on domestic oil production in the future, our energy needs in this country, and it is, to this point, has been not only a disaster on the rig when it exploded, but it has been a disaster in stopping the oil, capturing the oil, and cleaning it up. And as Americans, as someone who lives on the Gulf Coast, this is our worst nightmare. The potential for harm to our community is great. And there are people who are responsible for this and will be held accountable. And I call on the president to utilize every resource available. This is an emergency. When you have an emergency, it's all hands on deck. There are people out there looking for jobs. Well, put them to work cleaning up the oil and send BP the bill. I just wanted to make those comments before I lost the opportunity to speak to you. So, again, thank you for being here. I hope that you'll help us spread the message on getting prepared early in the season for hurricanes. Do what's right. Be responsible for yourselves, and know that you've got the backup of the fine people here to support you in case of a hurricane. Thank you very much.